and I have been in the life insurance industry for, 15 years or so, and love the story of life insurance, what it does for families. So love that.
Cool.
Awesome.
And my name is Chelsea, and I'm the Director of Marketing here at Usurance, and I have been in the life insurance industry for 5 years. And prior to that, I started my career in sports marketing, so I like to say that I bring a little extra spice to the life insurance industry. And I care a lot about finances, but I care about bringing that to the next generation. I think we're still in an era where we're selling it like we've always sold it, and it's one incredible industry that does a lot of good, and it's something really important for your financial future. And I love that Usurance has a similar mission to what my heart is, and so that's why I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, I'm Hannah, so I'm the newest of the bunch to the life insurance industry.
Yes.
This is my first role ever in life insurance.
Yes.
And I've been here for 4 months.
And crushing it.
And she's crushing it.
And I am the content strategist, copywriter. I'm the word girl, so
She
do
is.
all the word stuff.
The poet.
And she knows it. Yeah, and we love that you know that this is your first time. Since we are on a mission to really change things up, I think it's fun to have our voice of our brand be fresh and new and
Absolutely.
showing all the extra benefits that the consumer gets outside of just the insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't I start there? I'll take the lead, and you guys can kind of add on to the Usurance mission. So like I mentioned, our mission here is to change the industry. We really, really, really want to improve the process. We want to make it easier for people to purchase. We want it to make it tech forward and tech savvy. And we want to make it more accurate. Right now, the way life insurance has been done for decades and decades is they collect all this data and information about you, and then they pool you with people. And
what does pooling you mean?
so people of the same age, the same income level, the same insurance needs, the same health. So if you're a smoker, you might be pooled with other smokers, etc. They are grouped together in groups and being given rates based on that. So the example I like to give is maybe you could lose 15 to 20 pounds, and that makes you into a standard rate class. This is some industry jargon, but that we'll get into in a little bit. But basically you're paying about average.
Right.
But inside that same group is people who smoke, maybe who even have diabetes. And so even though you only need to lose 15 pounds, you are paying a rate for people who are really a lot more unhealthy than you
Right.
are, or making worse decisions in this example. And so what we would love to do is insure everyone for the rate that they deserve based on their own body and their own decisions. And so in that example where someone is 15 pounds overweight, we would like to insure them for that, and then give them the tools and resources that they need so that they could lose just 15 pounds, and then that their rates could potentially even get lower. And so to that point, everything we do at its core is about helping everyone live the longest, healthiest life that they can. Instead of collecting all this data and hiding it from you, we practice radical transparency. It's like anything we know, we want to give back to you. And we realize that might scare some people, but the reality is the insurance industry is already collecting this information. They already know it about you. And we think, the more you know, the better you can be and the longer you can live. And so it's about preventative care and preventative financial and health information instead of reactive, which too much of the world is doing.
Yeah, I think that to that point, I think that the more people know, the more they can choose what they want to do.
Yeah.
Right? So if you know that you, in your example, need to lose a little weight, and that you know that you can get, and you want life insurance and you can get better rates, that will help add that little extra bit of motivation to do that. But I think that the life insurance is it's an old industry, right? So today we are celebrating National Life Insurance Day, right?
Yep.
And that is celebration of what? The 349th
Yeah.
anniversary of the first
Exactly.
life insurance policy that was sold in the U.S.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that at Usurance, what we really see as the opportunity is the opportunity to take all of that history and legacy and build it into something that brings it into the 21st century.
Absolutely.
Because these pools that we're speaking of and all this industry jargon, and
Yeah.
that's why it's so great to have people that are fresh,
Yep.
to come out of something else to say, well, what does that mean? Well, why do you do that? Because it's all about questioning and using the data that we have to make it more specific to the people that should have it.
And speaking like real people.
Yeah.
Right.
And making it easier and not intimidating, you
Yeah.
know. I totally agree. So, Clint, why do people need life insurance?
Well, I guess there's a variety of reasons that people think that they might want to have life insurance, but I think that the primary reason is because there is a need to prepare for what if. So
And is it a what if? Or, I mean, death is the one thing that is inevitable, right? So,
yeah, but the what if is when,
yep.
right? So I can plan for my death if I knew I was going to die in 20 years.
Right.
I could plan for that, and I wouldn't need insurance necessarily, but I don't. So what I have life insurance for is for my what if. What if I am not here to support my family, to give them the things that they need in order
Right.
to give them the life that we've planned for when we plan for it. So if I don't
Right.
happen to make it into retirement, or if I don't happen to make it, to tomorrow,
Right.
which would be unfortunate, but if I didn't, I know that my family would be able to continue in the lifestyle and have the things that they need in order to be able to do it. So for me, it's about planning for the what if, and then also making sure that I know that that my family is taken care of in a way that I do want them to do if I was
Right.
here.
Right.
Right. So that's what I think people should think of life insurance as a way to plan for the what if,
Yeah.
even if.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. And I think, it's not always on your mind to be thinking and planning about the future like that, but there's certain life stages where maybe it triggers, or it's even more important to be thinking about that. And so that's something, especially as marketers, we spend a lot of time thinking about, and that is, Clint, add to this if I'm forgetting any, but when you graduate college, when you first get married, when you first have your kids, when you continue to have more kids, all those things are times when you need to, when you retire, there's job changes, etc. Buy a home. All those different triggers in life when it's a good time to rethink your life insurance if you don't have it already, or to even up it. I know
Right.
one of the things we were going to talk about is, well, what if I already have it through my work? And maybe, Clint, you can go ahead and dive in and answer that
Yeah.
question, and then we can get to the different times in your life when maybe you need to think about getting more.
Sure. I think, we are lucky to live in a world or in a society in the United States that I would say a decent amount of carriers have the ability to provide a small amount of life insurance to their people that work there.
Oh, I see. Like most of the companies here can afford to pay for life insurance for
Right.
their employees. Yes.
As a benefit to provide to their employees. So, but typically that is 1 times your annual income. So basically, if you're thinking about it from, we talked about earlier about planning for the future, how long could a family typically go with 1 times the income if you're not there? That's not. Let's consider at the most a year.
1 year,
right?
Probably
a year.
less because
Probably less because there's funeral
Funeral-
expenses or medical or whatever needs to be taken care of in order to pass that person, into that transition. So
Right.
that transition period is probably going to wipe out
Yes.
that 1x income. So what I always say to people that I've talked to is plan your insurance around what you can do for yourself and then use employer paid coverage as a bonus. That way, if you happen to work for an employer that doesn't have it, then you don't have to worry and you don't have to rush out and get something. And then, it can truly be something where you can feel like I'm in control of this. I can plan, I can do what I want to do, and I know that I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
And if my employer has something at the time of my passing, then that's okay.
Well, I really like that, especially for myself who's a millennial. We're not staying at jobs as long as we used to
Right.
be. And so I'm hopping from, career to career every 4 or 5 years, let's say.
Or independently contracted, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of millennials who
Definitely.
are working for themselves. And those people do not have life insurance paid for by an employer.
Yeah, I think it's a really smart plan to control it yourself, and then the rest is extra luxury. And that's unlike other types of insurance, like healthcare, So good. Thank you for clarifying that.
Well, and like we've seen too, you could lose your job at any time.
Right.
Layoffs happen. Companies go out of business, like my last role. You just never know. You might have a family emergency and need to suddenly leave your job. So anything can happen. It's easy to think, oh, I have a job and I have life insurance through my job, and obviously I'm not going to, when I go to my next job, I'll get the same thing. It doesn't always work that way.
Yeah.
No. And let's be honest. I mean, there's a lot of people who are in that millennial age group who may not need anything more than the employer. And if something happens to them, let's be honest, they may not need life insurance.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people who do, and millennials may or may not.
Sure.
That's a large group of the population. The thing that I would say to think about is if you are someone who does not technically need it, you're young and probably healthy, and probably healthier than you're going to be
Ever
when
again.
you're 10 years from now.
Yeah.
So I would say that if you can, we're talking, $10, $15, $20 a month will get you $250,000 of life insurance or more.
Yeah. So I really like that. Let's just step and talk them through the different types of insurance a little bit, because what you just said is really gold, especially for certain types of insurance. You want to buy it when you're at your very healthiest, and it is preventative. You are doing it before maybe you really need it, but
Right.
you save a lot of money in the long run.
Right.
So
well, you think, just to quickly transition that too, is that, you plan for your future in retirement.
yes.
So why not plan for a future in retirement that allows you the flexibility to be a little bit more risky, or to
Love
take
it.
on some additional
Sure.
challenges, or do something that you never would have done,
Love it.
because you know that you're protected both from a risk perspective from dying too soon and then living long, right?
Well, and also, just really quickly, you pay for auto insurance, and there's no guarantee that you're going to have a crash. You pay for health insurance. There's no guarantee you're going to get sick. You pay for all these different sorts of insurance with no guarantee of anything. With life insurance, unfortunately, it is guaranteed that all of us will be exiting this life at some point.
Yeah.
And so why not invest in yourself, your loved ones, by just putting in a little bit of money and taking care of yourself?
Right.
I mean, you're really investing in
Right.
you and your family's future.
At some point, I would love to have the ability legally to say you have to. Just like
Right.
health insurance
Right.
and auto insurance, home insurance, I would love to be able to say that life insurance was a requirement, but I doubt that will ever happen. But
Yeah, and so right now it's not, but we're looking for people who, who align with
See the
us
value.
and see the value, and we hope to give more value than just this insurance. So, Clint, start first by walking us through the different types. We can just talk term, whole, universal real quick, and the difference between them.
yeah, maybe we can even go a little bit higher level than that. So
Okay.
there are two different kinds of life insurance in general.
Yeah.
One of them is term insurance, and as you might think, term insurance is for a certain amount of time, a term, right? And that's typically a 10, 20, or 30-year term. And term insurance is the most efficient way to have insurance. It's the least cost option because it's pure insurance. You have $250,000 of life insurance, and if you die within 10, 20, or 30 years, depending on your plan, then your family gets that, or your beneficiary, your charity, your whatever that is that you're wanting to provide that income to, gets that tax free. So they would get a full $250,000 to do with whatever they need. The other kind of life insurance in general is permanent style life insurance, and that is a little bit more expensive because it has a savings component built in, and it's guaranteed to be there for the rest of your life as long as you make a premium payment according to the schedule of your contract. Right? So permanent products give us a little bit more flexibility. They give us the opportunity to use it as a savings vehicle, as a retirement investment vehicle. There's a lot of different strategies that you can do to combine them both. Me personally, I have both. I have the larger portion of my life insurance is term, and then once I get to retirement age, then that goes away, and I have a much smaller portion of my life insurance that is permanent, so that then I can guarantee that that my wife or my kids will have, a smaller amount after I get into retirement, because then I won't need it. I won't have to cover kids' education or a house payment or any of that other stuff, right?
Cool.
So that's kind of two
That's
levels.
Great. That's great.
Lots of different things that you can add on to in either of those, but
Yeah.
high level, that's what you're looking at.
Yeah, I love
That
it.
makes
Thank you.
sense.
And if anyone has any other questions, Clint is our guy here at Usurance.
Yes.
Send us an email at info@usurance.com, and it is Clint who personally responds to every email. You can, of course, find us on social media, and myself and Hannah will be there to answer any questions you guys have.
And you can also stop by our retail location
Yes.
in the Skyway
Yes.
between US Bank Plaza and Capella Tower.
In downtown Minneapolis.
Yep. So feel free to stop by and chat with us about it.
Yeah, I love that. And, we get it. We talk a lot of lingo, and it's confusing, but that's what we're here for. So we're happy to talk further about the different types and anything that you might need, and talk through your needs, because everyone has unique needs.
I would say if you do stop by to our retail location, it's a pretty chill environment around here.
Yeah.
So you can count on not being quote unquote sold or any of that other stuff that you might expect
Yes.
from a typical transaction or something like that in regards to life insurance. So just about a conversation, and you will remain in control of the conversation.
It's not like going to an auto dealership at all.
No, we're not going to chase you down.
No.
Not going to chase you down.
No. And in fact, we've told people, you know what, this isn't right for you at this time, and you need to
Totally
do
have.
other things. And at the end of the day, our hearts are in the same place as yours. Let's build health and wealth in the community, and let's make everyone live the best life. And if that means waiting for a little bit while you get your things other finances in order, your other needs in order, we're completely
Fully
transparent.
supportive of that.
Completely transparent with you. So no pressure at all, but I always like to offer it. So, something I'd like to spend a little time on is what makes Usurance a unique solution. So we're here smack dab in the middle of downtown Minneapolis. There are handfuls of other life insurance companies here, and then handfuls of other ones, thousands of other ones
Lots.
around the nation. Okay, maybe not thousands, but hundreds, digitally and everywhere else. So why pick Usurance? And maybe I'll start, and then you guys help me add on.
Absolutely.
So what I always say to this question is that for decades, life insurance has been sold as a selfless product. It's about when you do die, and about your family, and about passing on a future legacy. And while I, of course, believe in that, and I love life insurance for that, I think at Usurance, we're really unique in that we believe at our core that before you take care of others, you must take care of yourself. And so it all has to start with you. And so what we're doing here at Usurance is using life insurance as a tool to help people understand first where they're currently at. We use epigenetics, which there are plenty of other episodes on this podcast that go over what epigenetics is. But basically, we're seeing at a molecular level how healthy you are from the inside out. And so we're looking at the layer above your genes, and we're really studying that to understand how healthy are you today. And then we want you to live longer. So we're going to give you personalized tips about your health and wellness to help give you the tools and resources, again, to Clint's point earlier, do with it what you may. But knowledge is a lot of power. And, there's a lot of passion and heart here about the fact that people don't have access to this type of information. What type of diet works best for you? You know, stop all these different fads and reading magazines, and let's get down deep and figure out something that works for your body. When I think about supplements or even just medicine, you know, you're going to the doctor and they're just guessing instead of getting down molecular and looking at what really could work for you. And so we care a lot about this, and we want to provide that information to you. And then we want to be your partner across a long time. So this isn't just sign the check and then great, we'll talk to your beneficiaries when you pass away. It's bigger than life insurance. This is planning for the one thing in your life that is inevitably going to happen to all of us. So let's plan about it. Let's talk about it. And we want to give you the tools and resources to be able to make that happen. And so we're working real hard. Like when we're not podcasting here, we're back in the back room and scrambling and building this amazing legacy, living legacy portal. And we're so excited. And we really, really want to be your partners and help you do this in a different way than it's ever been done before.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I tell the analogy all the time about when you fly in an airplane, right? And what's the flight attendant ask you to do before helping anybody else?
You have to help yourself.
That's right.
Yeah.
Put the oxygen mask over your own face, and then you can help others. So I love that. In order for us to be there for our families and to do the things that we want to do, we have to take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that we can be there for them.
Right.
And if I knew that I was at risk for something, cancer or whatever it is, I would want to know that. I would want to know that so that I could take precautions. Similar to what I'm doing for my family, I'm planning for risk.
Right.
So I would want to know so that I could take action. So one of the things that I think is really cool about Usurance is that because we're looking at the inside out, we're going to be able to give unique insights on that. We're going to be able to tell you, give you customized tips and tools, to Chelsea's point, but also give you a vision into what illnesses you're predisposed to.
Right.
So if you are predisposed to, for men, you're predisposed to colon cancer, then we should tell you that.
Absolutely.
So that you can go get a colonoscopy at 35 instead of 50. And then we should be able to tell you if you should get a regular heart checkup or if you should do whatever. And we would want you to know that so that you can take care of it, so you can live healthier and longer and have the insurance for the what if, not the if, not the when.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what I think is really cool about it too.
Well, it's so great too because we're all very passionate about the mission here at Usurance and what we're trying to do to really help people live longer, healthier lives. But really, the business also walks the walk. I mean, here at Usurance, they provide us with healthy snacks. We've always got fresh fruit in the office and usually some sort of nuts and string cheese and hard-boiled eggs and
There's plenty of nuts here, Hannah.
Well, you know.
And they're talking about me.
Well, I wasn't pointing any fingers.
But it's so nice. I mean, I've worked at quite a few companies, some of the .coms where, I mean, there'd be an ice cream cooler full of all the bad treats and a cooler full of sodas and just all the bad stuff, and it was all free and free lunches. And people would eat a lot of really unhealthy snacks, unhealthy meals, just because it was convenient and it was free. And
or just a lot, period.
Well, or just a lot, And so here there really is a focus on health and wellness. We get our CEO brings in his trainer every week for anyone who actually wants to work out and get a free training session. We really focus on taking care of ourselves and learning how to be healthy and spreading that to our families as well. So I think that's just something I love so much about what we're doing here as well.
Thank you. Yeah, and I agree. To add to your we're walking the walk, I would also add to that the way we're thinking differently about technology and the industry. So Clint and myself have both been in the industry for a while, and it seems like everyone's looking at each other in life insurance and copying what they're doing. As soon as someone comes up with something innovative, then they all do it.
Ooh,
Yeah.
pretty
And here
shiny.
it's like No, we're fascinated with the best tech available out there,
Yeah.
from the science that we're using to get at this information, to looking at companies like Uber and how they revolutionized an entire industry. And so we're really walking the walk in using resources and using people outside of life insurance to seriously make change and innovation in this. What I think we would all agree, people in life insurance too, an archaic industry that hasn't been changed for a while.
349 years.
Right.
349 years.
304 score.
Exactly. I
7,000
mean,
years ago.
almost as long as we've been a country,
Yeah.
we've had life insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's time to change.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
time
that's-
to change.
Yeah, it is time to change. And I think the life insurance industry is not the same as it was 300 years ago.
No.
Let's be clear.
No.
It's not even it's not even the same as it was 100 years ago.
Sure.
And it's not even the same as it was
8 years ago. Yeah.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
But I would say that the way that we are assessing whether or not someone is healthy or not has not been truly changed for 40 years.
Yeah.
40 years. All the things that have happened in 40 years. What has happened since 1980?
The internet.
Smartphone.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Right? So what has happened? Well, why can't the industry take advantage of that?
Right.
And so that's what I really love about the story of Usurance is we are taking something that is not out there.
Yeah.
And we're taking it to the life insurance industry to truly revolutionize it
Yeah.
for everybody.
Yeah, and
for you.
Thanks for adding that, because we're not actually a company working against the industry. We're not saying, we're doing this better than people have done
No.
it. We're partnering with them.
Yeah.
But we're offering this layer on top, and then underneath that complements this very important. I mean, life insurance is very, very important, and
It's a large industry that contributes a lot to the economic security of
Yes.
of the country.
Yes,
and the world.
and communities. And if that's on your heart, I mean, seriously, please look into it. Where the money is going and being held, it is really important. And we're doing a lot of good in the industry. And these big, huge corporate companies are doing amazing things. So
Yeah.
we're their partner, but we are adding kind of the flavor to it. So.
Yeah.
And making it fun. And so,
Giving
feel the
back to you.
security of, if you do decide to go the Usurance route, you are getting the best of both worlds. You're getting the security of a big, reliable insurance company, and then an updated experience and a partner along the way.
Yeah. So Usurance, and I just want to be clear that yes, that is exactly right, and we are currently in beta.
Yeah.
Right? So
Thanks.
just to be clear, we are in beta and we are looking for consumer feedback. So I think what we'll do is we should include a link to our consumer survey.
Yeah. That sounds great.
And then we should get as many of you out there that would like to give us your feedback on it.
Yeah.
And then or come into the store and talk to us.
Yep.
If you come into the store, there is a fitness tracker waiting for you with your name on it.
Yes.
Yep.
For your feedback. So we'd love to talk to you about what we're doing, why we're doing it in more detail,
Yes.
answer any questions that you might have. But ultimately, we believe this is going to be something that is going to take the industry to the next level,
Yes.
bring how we look at your life into the 21st century and beyond, and help you step into the future of life insurance.
Yes, great way to recap. That's
Absolutely.
exactly what we needed to say. So thank you so much. If you actually go to usurance.com right now, look up some further information. There's information about how to find our retail location, and even information how to get started with the survey link. And then that will help get you on your way. And again, email info@usurance with any questions, feedback, concerns. We're here to answer questions and spread the word.
Or DM it.
Or DM it. Oh, you said it right. I'm so
On
proud
social
of
media, you can DM us.
And
right?
where are we on social media?
So we are at Usurance on every channel except for Twitter. It is Hello Usurance. So please check us out. We love to make friends. And here on YouTube, leave the comments here. We will respond to everything. So thank you
Absolutely.
guys.
Cool. All right.
Adios.